It's been 3 decades now that EHEDG has been developing and updating hygienic design guidelines for the food and food equipment industry. Yet, there are still areas that are not comprehensively addressed in the guidelines yet, like, for example, the area of the electrical cabinet. Now, that didn't stop EHEDG company member Rittal about 15 years ago already to start developing its own hygienic design product line in electrical enclosures. Theo Gerritzen is a product manager at this company. Theo, why do we see more and more small-sized electrical cabinets close to food production processes?
Yeah, one of the reasons for that is that more and more data is collected. Every process step is translated into data. That means more smaller enclosures for that equipment directly on that part of the process is needed, not only for the process itself, but also for the state of the machine, the maintenance of the machine.
I understand that you supply a broad range of industries with a whole system of electrical cabinets, but why did you decide 15 years ago to start developing a hygienic version of these cabinets?
We are an international supplier of the electrical enclosure for equipment in food and beverage, on the machines, in the production areas. And cleanability is always an item there. The use of water and entrance of water in electrical enclosures is not a good combination. That means the need for a better developed enclosure was there in combination with the use of such an enclosure in the production facilities.
What are the most significant components of an electrical enclosure that need to be optimized to improve its cleanability?
If you look to an enclosure, there are some areas that can cause trouble. That is the door, of course, the door or lid on an enclosure. There where the body and the cover come together. That is an area where something can happen. The locking system, of course, is something to be keen on. That is the right thing. Cable entry is also another point where your attention has to go on, and depending on what kind of enclosure you use, the way of mounting it on or near the machine is also a point of attention.
All right, we have to pay attention to many details, but what is the end goal? What does a well-designed enclosure do in a food processing environment?
In that high-risk area, both food safety and electrical safety must be combined, and that's why that typical hygienic designed enclosure was developed to combine both of the best worlds.
Can you give us an example? How does a typical HD enclosure look like?
The typical hygienic designed enclosures are completely different from standards. There are no hidden areas, no holes, no crevices, nothing of that all.
What about the door that you can open and close? That needs to be sealed in some way, right?
In a standard area, a polyurethane seal is used. A foam seal is used. In typical hygienic design, you cannot use that same material, because that it has to function after many times in combination with the cleaning facilities. No parts of that seal may loosen after a certain time of use, because loosened parts can go into the product, and that's what you must avoid. So the seal of the typical hygienic designed enclosures are in blue silicon.
What about the locking system?
The standard locking system is a double bit with holes all around. And for the typical hygienic designed enclosures, there is a locking system with an outside part, sealed outside part, of course. Behind the locking system, there is also that blue silicon sealing ring. So there are no holes between the locking system and the door itself.
If I'm not mistaken, these enclosures are also often part of a assembled machine. What do you encounter on the working floor at your clients' food processing environments?
if you take a look to a machine, a part of the machine may be used as a electrical enclosure. That compartment as part of the machine is mostly not hygienic designed.
Sounds like a challenge for the equipment providers. How would they have to go about to improve this situation, Theo?
In my opinion, it starts with information. The information between the user and the guys who make the equipment fulfill the complete installation. And the demands of the user must be led to the engineers of, for instance, the machine builder. Without good information, without exactly knowing what is expected, it's hard to engineer a compliant machine for that purpose.
Thank you, Theo Gerritzen, Product Manager Rittal. And Rittal is, by the way, also one of the sponsors of the EHEDG World Congress 2022. Thank you very much.
Graag gedaan, Rob.
Dear viewers, we're always very interested to hear what you think. Do you think that EHEDG should set up an EHEDG working group and develop a guideline specifically for electrical enclosures, for example? Or do you think that there's enough information in the existing guidelines? We love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. See you next time.